you're just a fun, magical little baby, right? And you're like, woohoo, let's do the world, yeah! I'm in Altea, Spain, and having download after download of realizations. So, freedom, personal freedom. Freedom is so broad. Shadow work, positive focus, and they're the opposite, right? But the thing they have in common is they're catalysts for personal freedom. That's why I love that we are all the one infinite creator, because that is ultimate freedom. I love busting through the matrix of feeling victimized and disempowered by our environment. I love this understanding that our external world is a reflection of our internal state in the past, on lag time playing back at us. Therefore, we have more control over it. Personal freedom, personal power is part of personal freedom, but freedom is more of a thing for me than power. It's the power you get through personal freedom. The worst times in my life are when I feel trapped, when I was grounded as a kid, when I'm in environments that are super confined. I mean, I am not okay when I don't feel free. And that's okay. Why? Because I'm here to bring to the world freedom. I'm here to show a living example of, yes, going from dark to light to get into the freedom. What really excites me is, oh my God, I know this is all external coming back at me, and I don't know how to flip and shift this. And I'm super stuck. But there's like this spark of some knowing that is like released, right? In this person's consciousness. This is what excites me. Okay, this is me having a super real moment. I don't know if I might post this, like totally unedited, my hair looking like absolute fucking, I hate my hair. And I don't know, maybe I'll just post this. Okay, I'm gonna post this. Oh, holy shit. What I have spent 2 years just like making it my life, you know? That's why big spaces make me feel awesome. And that's why I don't mind being alone. Yeah, I have these core moments of like utter desolation. But in general, I don't mind being alone. I feel free. I feel free because why? Because there's no restrictions. There's nobody else's mind and preferences that I need to negotiate around. I'm totally free. Okay, well, maybe I'm not authentic, right? If I'm afraid to be around people, maybe I'm afraid to be authentic. Maybe there's some truth to that, so I'm working on that. But I think in general, when I was in Cyprus, it was Christmas Eve, and I was all alone, and I was feeling all kind of feelings. And I had this thought, your preferred state of being, paste it onto your realities, right? Like, no, that means I'm free. No, that means I'm free. Let's just take it down a notch. Even a situation that would trigger you and cause you to feel contracted, you can look at that situation and be like, no, you don't get to mean that. And you get to choose what things get to mean to you. So I love Spain. I flippin' love Spain. Go to Spain. If you see a bug and you say a prayer for the bug's life, I learned this in my Tibetan Buddhism practice, then it increases the vibration of the planet. So it puts love into this being, and it also brings you into that vibration. And the prayer is Chenrezi's prayer, Dalai Lama's prayer. Om Mani Padme Hum Shri. Okay, that was just a little side note. So I was in Cyprus, and it was Christmas Eve, right? And I'm feeling kind of ashamed, right? Because I'm like, I'm all alone. I'm eating pizza. It's Christmas Eve. And I couldn't think like, oh, wow, how epic. You know, I'm on this beautiful island. And no, it was Christmas Eve. I wanted to be having fun with people, you know, to be quite honest. And then I thought, well, I'm going to just paste my preference on everything. The fact that it's Christmas doesn't get to mean I'm not free. I have no makeup on. I have no nothing. This is as raw as it gets. In my like shirt I like wear it all the time. I don't care. I don't care right now. And I had this thought that everything I see is proof of my freedom. As soon as I had that thought, 3 things happened as confirmation. So the waitress, she says, welcome home. What a weird thing to say to somebody. Ooh, I'm having a moment here. So I felt like this sense of belonging, like, it's okay to have Christmas here. I have belonging. I have my waitress. That was 1. Number 2, a marching band comes up the road. So I get it. I'm sitting there having pizza. I'm looking at the ocean in a port town, right? So there's like a promenade, right? And there's all these shops and people walking along. This marching band comes up playing a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or something. I am a nutcase over marching bands in a parade. Magic. I don't know. I know they're really corny. So I see this marching band and that was the second thing. I was just so excited. But it was talking to me. It was confirmation that the thought I just had, I was getting a green light from the universe. I was hitting a frequency and a vibration that resonated with my truth. In other words, my conscious mind synced up with a vibration of my deeper knowing. When that happens, you feel good, right? Have you ever had it where you've had a thought that makes you feel like, wow, awake and alive? That's because that's what happened. Your conscious mind synced into a frequency of knowing, of your deeper knowing about who you are and what you're here to do. And if you follow that, you will get information about what to do next. Just a pause on that. So the third thing, what was the third? Was one of my favorite songs. I have a really hard time remembering songs. I have a lot of shame about that. But it came on. Ain't nobody do it better. Make me feel good. Makes me feel this way. Ain't nobody done it better. But it ain't my Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan. Chaka Khan. So that song, I'm going to play it now. I'm going to post it in the notes. The notes, the links, the comment, whatever. It came on the radio, dudes. It came on the radio. And I was just like, okay, universe. Everything is an excuse for my freedom. So from that moment on, the rest of the day, I was like, okay, those people walking hand in hand down the street, they're an excuse for my freedom. How so? And then I would just do that with everything I saw. That tree, well, there's quite a few. Those trees are an excuse for my freedom. So you can do that for yourself. Just borrow this today. Everything that you interface with today is an excuse for your freedom. So this is the trick. This is how you're free. You've made it the excuse. It's not because it's imposing its will upon you and telling you that it is. That's how this freedom works. That shitty situation. So I'm a shadow work coach. Can take people through their deepest, most painful emotions to the truth of their being, right? What is it that they're valuing that's been compromised in that moment? Maybe we have to go back to a point in time when they were on the edge of right before they had a belief that they were limited and unfree and unloved and unlovable to the point where they now have that belief. That's what trauma is. It's when you're shifting from one reality to the other reality. And why do you have this new reality is because you have a new belief system. That makes sense? Why you have a new reality is because you have a new belief system. So a new belief system is I'm unlovable, or expressing my needs makes me unsafe. Or when I'm happy, I get disconnected. I get less love. Or when I'm excited or sad, I get less love, so I won't show how I feel. Those are some of the big ones. Those are some of the main ones. So we go through those, right? And what we do is we tap into, why is that a freeing thing to do? Because you line up with what is free. So you're here in this contracted, limited state, right? The emotional feeling in your body. And because you're holding on to that and you're aware of that and you're giving it complete reign over your state of being, you can only go so far. Eventually, you're going to drop. If you keep holding that perspective and holding space for yourself in that perspective, not judging yourself for having it, you won't stay in it. Because that's what the emotional guidance system is set up to do. It's part of our body. It's part of being in, human incarnation, is we get to have this system that tells us stuff. That tells us if our belief system is in alignment with what we deep down know, or is in alignment with some shit that we gotta question. God, I look horrible. That's a belief. It's a lack of belief. So that's shadow work. And then you reach into that spot in yourself that knows you deserve something better. And when you hit on that, it's like gold. When you hit onto that spot of knowing, like, when you hit onto that spot of knowing that you deserve something better, that's now you're sitting, now you've backed up in time even farther. Now you're getting closer. Let's say the point of trauma was over here, right? Let's say the trauma was right here. Okay? And then bang, bad thing happens. And then bang, new belief system. Uh-oh, be careful. When you reach into this core of yourself, of your knowing, you're getting farther back over to here. You're getting farther back to your knowing. This is a non-bypassing system because, and this is exactly why, is because you can get to your joy by experiencing your pain. Giving you the format right now. I'm showing you how this works. You go from the pain to the trauma to the realization that you deserve something better. Now you're sitting on this timeline where your brain and body were hooked up in a different way. You had different patterns and synapses going off in your head that you had never had before. After that, before the pre-trauma, you had different synapses. You had different recognitions in your mind. You had different physiological experiences in your body. You had a whole different state of being happening based on a whole different understanding of yourself relative to your world. Right? You were part of your world. You didn't know the difference between you and your mom. You were one thing, and then bang, something bad happened. It's like, uh-oh, I'm separate. So you go back to that pre-trauma state. And then you think, what do I wish would have happened in that situation? And your mind gets to go, huh? All this crazy shit. Was doing this yesterday with somebody, and her mind was like, bang, bang, bang. What? I never had this thought before in my life. Oh my God, what? What do you mean? What? Like, I'm shaking. It's so exciting. What? What do I wish would have happened? I mean, you could just see it's like downloads and restructuring of synapses going, new code, laying down new code in the mind. But you're not laying down new code. You're just stripping away an old program. You're actually activating your regular code. It's like, oh, that software. It's like, oh, we're coming back online. Hey, like that. It's not like, oh, I never had this. Yeah, you had this thought before. Otherwise, you wouldn't know that you deserve something better. So you get back to this knowing. This is your freedom. You can get there through positive focus too. You don't have to go through all that. That's why for some people, Abraham Hicks stuff works like that. And they just go, Beep. You can do it that way. But that's okay if you don't do it that way. It's okay. You can go back and collect yourself this way and go, Beep. Because you're not going to go, Beep. Actually isn't what happens. You go, Beep. You don't go up and anywhere. You just go, stuff falls off and you just become like yourself. Make everything that we see an excuse for your personal freedom. Like that. Like that.